All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first update to the Antiquarian dual strike build that I am currently running. I'm currently level 89 with a slash played of 19 hours. This is technically day 3 of the league. Today is Saturday. So I'm going to run this T11 map here, corrupted, with a bunch of crap on it. Let's just see what happens while I discuss the build. So right now I am playing dual strike Antiquarian. I leveled with Sunder up until normal Labyrinth, actually. My plan was to use Sunder throughout the entire campaign and even into mapping a little bit. But I swapped over to dual strike because of the Ancestral Commander, which is one of the other Marauder ascendancies. The node that says you can target one additional enemy with strikes and you do so from 50% further away. I was like, you know what? I gotta just try dual strike in the campaign, and it didn't feel terrible. Was it better than Sunder? Absolutely not. 0% chance, but it didn't feel terrible. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stick with the build while I level. Point is, I just recently, I think in the past 4 hours or so, swapped over to the Antiquarian version, which is the using ward. I have 16,375 ward on my character. Essentially, I'm using 10% of that as chaos damage, so my dual strike is dealing, hover over it, just 90,000 chaos damage. And the cool thing about, and this is from the gloves, Night Grip, by the way. If you haven't seen the build guide, link in the description below. But these gloves, it just says gain added chaos equal to 10% of your ward. It's not a range, like most added damage in the game is a range. Like lightning damage is, 3 to 300. In this case, you're just getting the full 10% as chaos damage. So there is no minimum value of the damage that you're rolling, which is disgustingly good. That being said, I am not actually crit right now. That is one thing that I'm missing. I have a lot of crit gear on right now. I am not actually spec'd into crit yet because I don't have the final piece of the puzzle, which is the Elegant Hubris commemorated by Caspiro, which gives you no stat requirements, which then I can spec into this final node here, Lionized Hair, for your hits can't be evaded, but 50% reduced dexterity. Now, there also is a world where I can simply craft on hits can't be evaded as a prefix. I could put this on the fancy foil right now and just remove that chaos damage. That costs 3 Exalted Orbs. That's not actually that expensive. I might end up doing that. However, doing this instead is definitely a better solution because I'll put in the jewel right here, the Timeless Jewel. It'll change this keystone into Supreme Ostentation. And Supreme Ostentation, long story short, you can ignore all attribute requirements, period, on your gear, on your skills, on everything. So it saves me a ton of passive points. Like, I don't need that dex and that int. I don't need like anything over here. It saves me a ton of passive points. Obviously, I won't get any benefits from strength and dexterity, but don't really need that in the first place. So all of that to say that I have 2 options there. I don't really know which one I will settle with, but it's almost likely going to be the Timeless Jewel instead of just simply crafting on hits can't be evaded. Reason being also because you want to level up your curses as much as possible. This build will be running an Anathema with 3 curses, which requires a bunch of intelligence, and simply fitting in all of that intelligence with, again, 50% reduced dexterity. So essentially you need 50% more dexterity to fit your requirements. That's just too much. So Timeless Jewel seems like it is going to be the solution. So yeah, what you're watching right now is non-crit on a 5-link where I basically have 2 damage supports that are not in. Right now I'm using Ancestral Call, so I can just, get a bunch of clear speed. So this literally gives me less damage, not more damage. And then Withering Touch, this will be from a Cluster Jewel, which simply gives me the chance to inflict Withered on hit. I'll get that from a Cluster Jewel, and then once that happens, I can socket in another damage support here. So I'm essentially on a 3-link in terms of damage, and as you can see from the footage, it's not that bad. So I do have Scion's Ambition anointed on my amulet, which is a passive, it's a hidden passive actually. It gives you, same like the Ancestral Commander node where it said you strike skills target from 50% further away. It's essentially that. It's only 40%, but it's essentially the same exact thing. And it does help tremendously for your clear speed. So if you guys are following along with this build, I definitely recommend putting in Ancestral Call just while you are leveling up and clearing maps, and then get Scion's Ambition anointed as soon as humanly possible. It feels so nice. So anyway, let me go to the end of the map here. I'll show you what my single target damage looks like, again, on basically a 3-link with no crit whatsoever. But basically everything about this build is feeling the same, if not a little better than what I expected. Like, the amount of damage that Night Grip gives you is absurd. Oh, by the way, these gloves and this belt are super cheap. There were a couple comments on the original build video saying these are going to be expensive. They're not whatsoever. They're super cheap. Like, I think the belt is literally down to 1 chaos at this point, and the gloves are probably like 5, 7, something like that. All right, so here's my single target damage. So remember, this is a T11 corrupted map. This guy also has 60% more life because of the modifiers, and I'm on a 3-link, and there's my damage. So build is working pretty dang well right now. Leave any questions you guys have or just general comments in the comment section below. I will make another build update, obviously, once I transition over to critical strikes, which, spoiler alert, I'm dropping this entire portion of the tree pretty much over here. Everything here is going to go away once I go into crit. So it's going to be pretty spicy. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and check out my stream at twitch.tv/WoolieGaming. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.